Jesus, he loves you.
You don't know first thing about love.
I am filled with Christ's love. God, you are just jealous of my success in the Lord.
This is not a weapon, you idiot.
Okay, guys, so I wanted to do this a while back, and since there seems to be a new way of doing things, I got this back in October, and I really wanted it. My mother bought it for me when she was here visiting, and this was one I really have been trying to get, and save up for. But we went to the witchy store so she could get something, and she bought me this deck. Really wanted it. So, So, anyway, and here's the guidebook. I have it right set up. So, I thought that I would do the walkthrough, because this obviously seems to work way better. There's the back. When we do things this way, let me set this down for a second. When we do, and sorry, I've used the deck, not in order, to do a bit of a response as you're looking at these cards. So, gatekeeping and opinions, and bullying on social media. When we are creating our content, yes, we're going to get people that feel the need to sort of come at us. And I think there's two things. When we are listening to respond. When we're listening to respond, we are all about defending our position and how to defend our position. Again, this is just my thoughts on it, okay? My opinion, okay? And thing in the community is that, when we come to agree to disagree, and you may have an opinion, and you can voice those opinions so you can understand where someone is coming from, but not force your opinion onto others, and keep out a person, keep that mentality of there's going to be offering an opinion and then trying to force your opinion on somebody else. And there are times, just because you can doesn't mean you should. And we all want to seek validation. But there are times when maybe we need to keep our opinions to ourselves on things. And if we come at someone in a certain specific type of way, where it feels like you're just coming at someone or wagging your finger with your hand on your hip like the mom telling somebody what to do. And as we are adults, we don't happen to take that very well. And when you come at someone in a certain type of way, there's going to be a reaction, especially when you do it in public for everybody to see. And people, if they see someone being bullied, they're going to defend the person that's being bullied. Especially me. I don't care. Even if I don't like you and I see that someone is bullying somebody, I'm gonna say something. And I will try to do it tactfully, but some days. And I'm gonna defend the person. And if you don't want people coming at you, then either A, be more thoughtful in how you voice your opinion, or don't do it in public and come at somebody a certain type of way. And yes, we are of a community, whether you're more tarot related, witchy related, spiritual, new age, neo-pagan, whatever, right? we're all still one community, and there are different niches in the community. And then there are even smaller communities broken down, right? A lot of us, you tend to gravitate towards people where you have common interests. But we all have different life experiences, different things that have happened to us in life. We all have had our own study differently. We all practice differently. Yes, we are a community, but we are still individuals within a community. We all have different practices. And we can have an opinion. Like, there's a way to put your opinion, and then sometimes maybe your opinion shouldn't be offered. And is it, because maybe you want attention, and attention is attention. Whether it's good attention or bad attention is still attention. And you're doing it, and then when you get that attention, then you live in you go straight to victimhood. But if you're going to go at somebody, especially in public, then there's going to be some backlash. Now, I have said, I don't know how many times, talked about this when it comes to gatekeeping. And maybe we need to, as a community, start having that attitude towards gatekeeping, because the problem within the communities isn't getting fixed. And telling someone how to practice unless they ask for advice or they're asking you a question. Do we all make all aspects of our practice public? Mostly not. Right? There are things that people do that I don't agree with. There are things that I do that other people don't agree with. That's fine. But you don't get to force your thought process or your practice onto other people. There are closed practices. We should be respectful of that. There are traditions. We should be respectful of that. Does everybody have a different opinion of what is and isn't cultural appropriation, or what is or isn't a tradition? Yeah. But you don't get to tell other people what to do unless you're asked. And some people have to have this sense of control. They have to control everything around them. Even people they don't even know. When they don't have a control, they tend to flip their stuff. And again, I think Miss Kulala said, when you show the mirror and they don't like what they see and they flip out. I am really... I thought that this was a situation we had handled in the community. Apparently not, especially now, since we have all the people from TikTok, and the gatekeeping over there is disgusting, and they're bringing their bad habits over here. And if there's a problem and you don't voice the problem never gets fixed. And I'm not saying you should have your full-blown disagreements and all of that for public, for everybody to see. Absolutely not. Shouldn't do that. We are the witchy and pagan and tarot community. We are not the troll and drama community. Or we are... Yes, drama does create views. It's stupid, but it does. And sometimes when we do not give people the response that they want, that tends to have them lose their stuff because they're not getting that attention. There's a time and a place for everything, and a situation for everything. And if you feel called to stand up because someone's being bullied, you feel that way. If you don't, you don't. But there's stuff in this community that we need to stop ignoring, because we ignore stuff. And calling out the person who brought a problem, not necessarily people, but a problem in the community. And what do? We say that they're stirring the cauldron. They're creating drama. Instead of, hey, how can we all come together and fix this? How can we all come to a agreement as a community to stop a situation? I wish that people would focus more on getting the racism, the homophobia, the transphobia, the ableism, the bigotry out of this community. But instead we want to gatekeep. Don't understand it. We all have our different thoughts and our different ways of doing things and how we see things. And we may be a community, but again, we're still individuals within a community. And I think because of that, that's why more people are solitary practitioners and practice things on their own, because you always have a couple people that feel that they need to be in control and order everybody around and tell everybody what to do and how to practice. Which is why I left TikTok. The TikTok, I have a few people, and I'm talking about TikTok when I'm saying this, but which is why there's people I don't deal with anymore, because I got tired of the gatekeeping. And as Selena had said, and we all have said, that we've all been attacked and we've all been gatekept. Well, then how come we're not doing anything as a community about the problem? How come we're not doing anything as a community about getting the phobias and the bigotry and the isms out of our community? I don't. Like, why? Why aren't we doing that? We have people that we cannot mention their names because that'll start situations, and it's perfectly understandable. If you have a disagreement with somebody, do you need to make it public? No, you don't. But when you make it public in a comment section or whatever, then people are going to respond in public. And then it just becomes a whole thing. And I had told someone who I was bringing over to the community that, hey, we don't do all that mess over there. But with the stuff that's gone on here lately, the last almost 2 years, I'm really starting to say, boy, was I wrong. I don't get it. I don't understand why we can't come together as a community, deal with the situation, have a community-wide agreement, because we've done that before. I don't understand why we can't do it again. And it is just something that it just really, and the bullying, like when you drag in family members into a situation, or you dox somebody in order to silence them so they won't respond when you attack them. Putting kids in the hospital, and again, that's over there on TikTok because you're pissed off at somebody. We've had people unalive themselves during live streams, right? On social media. We've had people be more focused on the bullying and the arguing and the fighting while they're live streaming, and a person gets hit and killed. And I'm talking about social media as a whole, right? We've had people on this platform, on other platforms, literally commit the unaliving because they're so tired of the bullying. And you can't just get off social media because people want to go to what is it that they call it? Real life. Or be messy. And go after people's families. Which is kind of why there's all these lawsuits and why we're all having it reflected over here on our platforms. And why people's channels are getting taken down. So, this is just really something that we need to stop. We need to get our shit together. And we need to start figuring out some things. And we need to have no tolerance policies. And if somebody, you know, people need to worry about more about themselves than what other people are doing. That's not, you know, when you're more worried about other people and what they're doing because, you know, you have this need to control. And this is why people are so anti-community, because they don't want to deal with that. A lot of people just want to post their content with like-minded people and have that discourse and that engagement. I left that card there because, you know, the stuck. And it's not something that I haven't said before. Cardstock on this, by the way, is really thick. Just putting that out there. I forgot to mention that. But we need to do better. And we need to stop controlling. And we need to stop telling other people what to do. And the doxing and the shaming because you don't like and saying, well, you know, hey, either you do what I say or you're kicked out. And I've seen that too. And the weaponizing of your followers to get someone's channel taken down. Because you don't like them. I mean, somebody isn't, you know, not following TOS, but I've seen that. I've seen that on all the platforms. Well, you know, they pissed me off, so I'm going to use my followers in order to, you know, get their channel down, or just like mass report a bunch of their videos, or if I find them posting any videos of that there are not flattering, getting it reported and taking it down. I sat on a panel one day, and granted YouTube isn't like where it takes one complaint and then you're kicked. A girl who we were just having a pagan discussion, and she got reported and suspended because she wouldn't let she wanted to just have the discussion for spiritual and pagan people. Christian people, the not Christian, but the Christian extremists came in and wanted to come up and bully people, and she wouldn't allow it. So they reported her, and her live got taken down for nudity, and no one had their cameras on. I agree that the troll community, you know, you should do whatever content that you want to do. I totally agree with that. But the trolling and the burner accounts and, you know, going real life, as they put it, and going after people's families, and doing things to get somebody's channel taken down just because you don't like them or they've pissed you off is stupid. And it's getting to the point where law firms are getting involved and filing class action lawsuits, which is exactly what's happened with, you don't believe me, Morgan & Morgan is the law firm. So, mind your practice. Offer, you know, learn when to just not offer an opinion, especially if it's a channel that you just came up on. And maybe you should like listen to something for more than 5 minutes before you jump in and start telling people what to do. And if you want to attack somebody in public, people are going to react in public. So, anyway, I do I do love the deck. Because I wanted more animal decks, and this is more of a darker aesthetic. So, like I said, though, the cardstock is a little thick. Sorry it was out of order, but that's just kind of my ramble, because my thoughts aren't organized. It's kind of difficult to write out what I want to say and then show cards. But anyway, guys, peace, love, and like. Please like, comment, subscribe, do or don't. I'll see you guys later.